All right. Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Thanks for joining me. And I got to tell you what a lovely day outside. Saw so many people out enjoying, but we got a couple of, well, not 1-2 punches really, but some big time changes after a warm day. We have more warm weather in the forecast and quite a bit of it, as a matter of fact, but we're going to have some changes that begin tomorrow. We'll have some falling temperatures. We'll have some fog overnight. So we'll go on to the deep dive on that. And then a pattern shift as we head into the middle of the month toward the end of the 7-day that I wanted to draw your attention to as we head through the time. But what a day. It looked like this to start with that fog burning off and blue skies aplenty, sunshine, and then a few late clouds starting to build in as well. Now, if you have questions, just bring them, but let's go into the start of what's going on with regards to our forecast. And to do that, we're going to take a look at the hour-by-hour details right here. Now, first thing to keep in mind is as we head to bed tonight, we have a band of showers moving through north-central North Dakota. And temperatures are above freezing, but we still have some areas that could be a little on that slippery side as we go through. I'm going to set this into motion here. And what you'll see as we go towards 1 a.m. that Kitson County, the Cavalier and Pembina County areas seeing the showers move through, as well as you folks up in the Highway 11 corridor in Roseau. Now notice what's going on in the south. There's a reason I have this big old map showing up right here and right now, and that's because we have a cutoff low pressure system down here that's going to eject and bring a chance for some unsettled weather to the plains and not too far from us as we go through as well. So we'll get to that and our next chance of more significant snow. Let's zoom in just a little bit closer to our area of detail and concern right here and show you that as we go through the overnight hours, we will have a few areas that get some of this mixed precipitation for an icy concoction by morning for many. A Lake of the Woods, this lasts all the way through around 4 a.m. as we go into the morning hours at there. And then as we head into your evening, your afternoon tomorrow, the clouds will be clearing off to the west, and that's a good sign. So a little bit more sunshine returning, but the reason they're clearing and the reason that any of that fog that I was talking about clears is because we have a north wind that'll be coming through that will dry things out once again, and that'll provide sunshine, but this is a cold north wind that'll be blowing through the region, and I do think we're going to have some pretty chilly conditions. Now, when we take a look at what's going on here, you can see we have some heavy rain punching into parts of southern Wisconsin, southern Minnesota, particularly Minneapolis to Rochester, Mason City, and Iowa, seeing a chance for that nonsense. Look at this. All the way from Des Moines through Chicago, it's really a comma cloud type of a situation. It's a low pressure system or storm moving through the central plains. All rain, all wet as we go into your Thursday evening. For us, we'll be on the cold side of this system, and there'll be some Rocky Mountain flakes with it as it works its way through. And remember, this is all taking place on Thursday. For us, fairly quiet but colder. Boom! Changes to and mixes over to snow as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning. There could be some snow showers on the I-94 corridor, say Sioux Falls, Sioux City, down south towards Omaha. But if they get any at all there on I-29, it'll be that sticky, wet, sloppy type of snow and an inch or two, with more on the way out of the Rocky Mountain West. But look at Minnesota, southeast Minnesota, northern and central parts of Wisconsin, getting a rapid return to some wintry wonderland goodness as we go through. Then as we head through the remainder of our day, the clouds will be a part of our day once again as cold air settles in to your forecast. And thanks so very, very much to all of you who have helped Hutch over the months and years by sending stars. I can hear them coming in. Toronto, this system works its way off to the east as we go through the day. And that's a quick look at that short-term forecast. Now for us, my concern tonight will be some fog. So I'm going to go ahead and load up a model forecast here that shows us some details on that fog chance. So bear with me while I go ahead and pull up the model forecast information that I'm looking for here. And there it is. So we're looking at the visibility right now, and we'll take a look at the model that goes out just a little bit farther. So I'm switching model runs here. And away we go. Now, as we take a look at this, I will glide through in time as we go through the overnight. Look where the fog sets up again. The best chance of fog will be in Lakes country through the overnight hours into the morning and off towards Duluth and the North Shore. So where you see these pink colors, that's visibilities that'll be well under a half of a mile in places. So So patchy fog, and I do believe from Lakes Country out toward Duluth, there'll be a chance for some more pretty dense fog in places. Not as much of a problem out to the west as we see there, and off to the east. That's where the conditions will continue to be the most foggy as we go through the morning. Now, the north winds that take hold tomorrow, I do think that this is going to clear fairly rapidly into the midday hours and afternoon. So by the time we get to your lunch hour, 1 o'clock, Fargo, Valley City, Devils Lake, Maddock, all of you, Harvey and Wells County, as well as Jamestown, seeing some sunshine once again. But again, it's going to be a cold north flow with that wind as we go through. So here's what you need to know in your forecast by the morning hours, and we'll go ahead and review this. Northwesterly wind, not too strong, 7 to 15 miles per hour. It will already be cold up along the international border. We're talking low to mid-teens there, 25 Grand Forks, 30 for Fargo-Moorhead to start the day. I'm going to repeat that, near 30 in Fargo to start the day. Areas of fog spread across central and eastern Minnesota, and some icy conditions up north as a result of what's going through right now, that spit of precipitous, cold, wet precipitation becoming slippery. Now, temperatures will be at or below freezing across the entire region, so some of that fog could once again produce that frost on area roads and fog. And here is again a look at that foggy area that I do anticipate first thing in the morning, overnight and into the morning, with pretty rapid clearing from west to east as we go through. Now let's talk about your forecast for the afternoon. Remember, Fargo started out at 30. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, no. North winds now 10 to 12 miles per hour, 25 degrees as temperatures slowly falling early, but more precipitously falling late. Temperatures falling to 22 in Grand Forks. We'll see a little rise in temperatures in the Bottineau, Rolla, Rugby area. If you're in Devils Lake, Maddock, your temperatures will be steady to slowly climbing as you go throughout your day. West wind. That's a warming wind down the slopes of that elevated terrain out there in the Black Hills. And that means temperatures on the I-90 corridor from Chamberlain all the way out towards Sioux Falls will be warm enough for some rain showers. That sneaks all the way into Wisconsin, as I showed you some rain there, and out towards Rochester and the cities. Now, the 7-day forecast is what the deep dive is all about. This is where I want your questions, because if you have a travel question, I'm going to answer it for you. If you have a question about what's going on any of these days, just holler. I'll do my best to kind of keep my eyes on things, and we're going to go through this forecast in the deep dive here in a second. But suffice it to say, areas of patchy fog on your Thursday morning. Warm morning and cold PM for Fargo, with temperatures dropping from 30 down to 25 degrees. Then as you go into your Friday, it's going to be a cold start out there as we go through. I don't think we'll have much fog to worry about, but late on Friday, our next weather maker makes its way through. This weather maker does promise to bring at least a chance of some light snow. It does not look like a heavy 1-2 heavyweight punch of wintry weather, but it is going to, well, reinforce the cold, and we stay all day in the mid to upper teens on your Saturday with gusty north wind. Now, the snow showers could be a little bit more voluminous out in parts of the arrowhead of Minnesota and eastern Minnesota into Wisconsin. So keep that in mind as we go through and into your Saturday. Sunday, look at this. After a cold start, we're back up and on our way to those 30s, and woo-wee, look at this, 35, 38, Hutch has got some days on here to let you know about. I've highlighted Tuesday in red here because I do believe there'll be a more potent system. And also on Hutch's bottom line, I'm talking about between the 13th and the 16th, the snow chances begin to return. Maybe a little bit more potent, but not one big punch of snow. Just several rounds like we've been going through here. The better part of December could bring some more wintry weather our way, and it does look mighty cold on Wednesday with an Arctic air mass returning to the region. And dare I say, we'll have some places well below that 0 degree mark as we go into your Wednesday. So let me show you a model run on this. I'll load that up. Here's some model guidance. Now, this is the American model, and it's zipping through here real fast. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit, but it's going to show us a little bit more of an unsettled pattern. Here's our cutoff low pressure system moving through the Central Plains, rain, Omaha, that changes over and mixes with some snow in places. So some slippery travel there. And one of you was asking that you got a big old dance competition going on in Omaha. When should you leave? Well, you're going to have some Thursday rain showers that mix with snow as we go into the afternoon. You can see here from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Sioux City, that's where that best chance of snow will be on that I-29 route here. There'll be some accumulation, and it'll be over wet roads. And we're not talking freezing temperatures here. We're talking about right near freezing at 32. So it's going to be that wet, slushy snow. So that's what I expect you to be traveling through if you're going through on Thursday night. But then as you go into Friday, we're not quite done yet because there's another weather wiggle wobbling out of the Rocky Mountains out here in the Denver, Colorado area. And watch what I mean here. As we go through, temperatures will be falling in this area of Lincoln and Omaha. And we'll have another batch of some snow making its way through as we go into Friday night and Saturday. And look at this. This is our area now. This model does show we do have a chance for some snow, not heavy, but at least some snow. But where it will be heavy, oh my goodness, look at the East Coast. We're talking about Quebec all the way down in towards New England states here, seeing some wintertime goodness returning with the lake effect snow machine getting back involved. Now, I'm not going to stop here on this model, even though it's getting out a little bit farther. I do just want to show this. We're going to see a more active pattern coming out of the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia across the Dakotas and Minnesota as we go farther out in time here. So now we're looking at the 12th of the month. Remember Hutch's dates that I said there? Between about the 13th and the 16th. Here we go. Hudson Bay low. Right here's Hudson Bay. And that's going to wiggle through with a wobble of wintry weather working its way in. Nothing too heavy there, but more rounds kind of persistent as we go from the 15th and into the 16th again. So a couple of doses of snow. Yeah, it's winter. We've been through this, but it is certainly a little bit of a change. Now let's get to some of the details on this weekend's snow. So if we review on the 7-day planner here, I did say Friday and into Saturday, we'll have that next chance for a little bit of snow. Not a lot has changed since yesterday, but let me show you. In between the pink lines that you see here, I'm thinking a half of an inch. Isolated places could see up to an inch though. So as you're looking out there near Miles City, Montana, we could get a few places in southwest North Dakota that see up to an inch of snow. Again, this is Friday and into Saturday, January 9th and 10th. Now this band of snow will cross over the I-29 corridor with really a dusting. We could see a couple places getting up to an inch as we get into the Minnesota side of the river, particularly down south. But this is again by Saturday as we go into the morning hours. There'll be some more rain making its way through for these areas down in southern Minnesota, and then it gets topped off with a little bit of slushy snow. Arrowhead of Minnesota, maybe a better chance of you seeing closer to that inch. Where it could be heavier will be the enhancement of the terrain features in the Black Hills, as well as parts of the Rocky Mountains of northern Wyoming from Casper and all the way in towards Gillette there, and eastern parts of Montana and the oil patch picking up a little bit of snow. Not a big deal at all. Not something that's too heavy, but something to keep our eyes on nonetheless. So that is a quick look at what's going on right there. And now what I want to do is talk about our high temperatures for today. Thanks to my friends at the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. This white line that you see here, Hutch often likes to draw that. That's the freezing line. So anywhere inside there below freezing, but outside it, wow, we look at Dickinson, 51 wonderful degrees. Beach at 53. You could roll out the beach towel there. We had a Bismarck Mandan reading today of 47 degrees below freezing up in that area of the northern I-29 corridor there. And now we have some precipitation in the form of wet rain making its way over that area right now. So we'll go ahead and show you that. But I just wanted to point out temperatures in the mid-20s there, down into Grand Forks, 32, 38 awesome degrees in Fargo with, how about this? 45 degrees, 40 to 45 degrees through all of Otter Tail County out there. One thing that can enhance temperatures in weather like this is no snow on the ground. When that sun hits the ground and it's bare, it warms up a lot faster. So if your snow is reduced, your temperatures have a better chance at getting a little bit higher. If you live in a big city, the miles and miles and acres of pavement, asphalt, concrete can also help to boost temperatures up in the what we call a heat island effect. And there's a look at Jamestown, 39 degrees there. So now I want to turn the tables over to you here and ask if you have any questions at all. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for a couple of those, I'll ask you for some input here while I pull up a look at what's going on. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Jennifer. Good to have you on board. And thanks, Ethan, for joining at the Fargo Dome on January 31st. Hutch, you going to the Monster Jam. Wow, that sounds like a real big monster truck show there, and that sounds fun. I don't know if I can make it yet. It's not quite on my calendar. Let's see. I hope it stays away from us. I have a long drive to and from the cities that day to Burnsville. Yeah, so we do have some unsettled weather. Hutch, what do you think? Let me see. Monster Jam, Fargo Dome. January 31st is a ways away. So that's a little far for the models to go through. They do go that far out, but I don't put a lot of credence in their answers at this particular time. Kim and Carol, thank you so much for your contribution to Hutch's Weather. You're helping me grow. And you know what you can do? You can also do the same thing by passing the good word along about Hutch's Weather. So let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do a little bit of work on Hutch's Weather app here, because one of the nice things about my brand new weather app is the fact that Hutch has it built with you in mind, and for those of you that are traveling in mind as well. So on Hutch's Weather app, I do want to point out that it is available. It's free. Search Hutch's Weather in the App Store, or if you've used my website, head over there and you can get the skinny or the lowdown on Hutch's Weather app there. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here for us, so pardon my wandering eyeballs while I get this real-time content uploaded for you. Hutch's Weather app looks like this. If you search Hutch's Weather in the App Store today, that's what you're going to find. And if you do click on it right there, it'll open up. And I want to point out the road conditions report. It's very helpful. And if you have something that you love about the app, drop it in the comments right now. Let your friends know. But I kind of wanted to point this out. And this is not, this is what helps Hutch grow. You can help me grow. And you can do it right on the app. Do you see these 3 dots in the upper corner right up here? Those 3 dots will allow you, here, let me adjust my camera. It's blocking my arm. I don't like it blocking my arm. Now I can point all the way up there. How about that? So those 3 dots up there, if you push those, you're going to see this share thing. If you share this, it'll share the app with your friends, with your family, and that helps Hutch's app grow immensely. Do you know we're almost to 10,000 downloads? Can you believe that? In a month. In a month. You guys are the goodest, the best, and I hope you're liking the app. Now, if you do use the app, you can share it via Gmail and share the link to others. You can share it with friends that way, or word of mouth always helps as well. So here's a look at Hutch's Weather app. You got your road reports right here, brought to you by my friends at OK Tire, and I got to tell you what, we're going to check that together right here, right now. Let's go to North Dakota. Remember, there was that little layer of slop working its way through the international border counties. We do have icy roads not far from Rolla, Towner County, out towards Botno. Those areas are seeing some icy roads out there right now. Now you can zoom in on this and you can actually, pro tip, go to the 3 lines right here. And this information is as good as you will get anywhere, and it's as timely as you will get anywhere. It's updated by our departments of transportation in our entire region. Switch from North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota. I have a request for Wisconsin, and I haven't forgot about you. Takes a little while to work on that. IFR on Saturday in Grand Forks, question marks. You know, that's that instrument flight regulations look to be on board for Saturday. Because there's going to be a weather wiggle working its way through. Later in the day, though, might be better because that cold front moves through and we will dry out. So maybe you'll be able to use the old VFR a little later in the day as that high pressure system moves in behind the little weather maker. Now, one of the pro tips on North Dakota, if you click on that triple bar, you can turn layers on and off. I want you to toggle the cameras on. And this is what I'm going to do right now. And this gives you the ability. Now, you got to hit the X right here to get back out of there. And once you do, you can turn cameras on in the area of concern. So let's go right up here into the Pembina border crossing and see what it looks like, because there were reports up there on the radar that some wetness is moving through. You got the wet, shiny road surface out there, temperatures that are near 20 degrees or colder, but I don't see flakes flying and I don't see rapid drops of water falling in that area. But that road sure does look slippery and icy. The green on the lines, by the way, does indicate to Hutch that we have normal or seasonal travel conditions there. Now, if we look at the area that's yellow, if your travels were going to take you up into the Botno area, well, it's dark there. I'm really on this weather thing. I like it. I should get a job doing this. All right, here we go. We got some dark conditions. We can't see much, but I do see water drops on the camera lens, meaning they did get some rain making its way through there. Pedro is taking a nap here, Jennifer. Thank you very much for asking, and he misses being on TV. I'm doing some studio changes here as I'm adapting to try to bring you better weather more often, and in a way where I can interact with the screen a little bit more as well, because I just love it. Tammy, go Broncos. Mile high salute. Indeed. it's a good year. Let's keep it that way. And good luck to all your teams playing this weekend. Now, if we switch over to Minnesota, let's take a couple look at some road conditions there. One thing you can do is you got to use your two fingers and pinch, and it squeezes it back, and you can see the entire state. All the green tells us seasonal travel conditions, but up in the Northland, up here, Lakes country, we're talking Beltrami County. There's the Red Lakes area. We got blue, partially covered roads out there. And as we zoom in to where there is some snow possibly making its way in, Highway 11 corridor in towards Lancaster, look at that. That road definitely has some ice on it right there. You can certainly see that. I'll zoom into the surface of the road. Snow on the edge. So there was probably a little layer of wet or snow that made its way through. It's no longer falling at this particular time, but that's what the weather app has in store for you. And it's here for you whenever you need it, wherever you go. And also at the bottom of the page down here, there's Hutch's how-tos. If you click on that, I've created some videos that help go over pro tips on how to set up locations and alerts so they work best for you. So thanks so very much. I'm going to review a couple questions here while I turn my phone off. And we'll put back up the radar behind me here as we go through. So here's the radar set on current temperatures right now. And this is what's going on across the lower 48 as we take a look at our latest conditions. Pardon me while I make it more bigger. You can see that the cold air has dove all the way down into the deep south out here, but the real cold air, the sub-zero air, bottled up in central parts of Canada. Okay, just looking at some questions. Matt Thou, thank you very much from Shakopee. Good to have you on board. Brian Paulson as well from Moorhead, Minnesota. Deb, always a pleasure to have you on board. Thanks so much, Sweet Home, North Dakota. Sounds like a song. I wonder if I could get my fiddle and guitar and write something out about that. That would be sweet, huh? And then we got Kim and Carol Samuelson. Thank you. What's up for Grand Forks? We're going to have north winds, steady to slowly falling temperatures as we go through the day. Tonight now we could have an area that drizzle working its way through. A little bit of fog to the east of you could mean some slippery roads for those commuting east of Grand Forks into Polk County. So if you're in that Fisher to Crookston zone, on up in towards maybe even the Highway 11 corridor, some icy conditions there. I want to see spring weather, says Ethan. I get that. I understand it. Brad in Phoenix, watching from Bismarck. Not too bad here in January 7th. The app tracked me and updated perfectly. Brad, thank you so very much. And I got to tell you what, keeping updated when you're traveling, whether it's to Phoenix, from Phoenix, a lot of snowbirds out there watch Hutch. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for passing the word. And you know what? Once in a while, when you tell me this time of the year when we're at 15 below, and you're like, "Hey, it's 77 here in Mesa." Well, that's really great, but once in a while, it makes me want to head south. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad that using it during traveling, that's a good point, Brad, is that along the way, if you're traveling anywhere, if you have Hutch's weather app, make sure you set the location to follow you. Watch that video on locations. Allow it to follow your phones and your device all the time, even when you're not using the app. Because you might have the app in your car, in the back seat, sitting in your pocket like old Hutch here, and you're driving along, king of the town, got your windows rolled down, and you're cruising. And you're down south where it's warm in Phoenix. And all of a sudden, there's a warning for a flash flood going on in the area. You wouldn't get an alert from Hutch's phone if you don't let it follow you, even when the app is closed. I'm not spying on you. I don't have any interest in that, and nobody does. But for the device to work so that it knows where you are, when you enter an area that is under the influence of any kind of weather warning, that's why I recommend you leave all those alerts on. You're going to hear about it. Brad, thank you for your 2 cents. It's always welcome here. For live viewing on the North Dakota Road app, oh, let's see. Seth is asking, don't forget, almost all snowplows have dash cams now. Yes. So if you go to, for instance, the Minnesota DOT map and you click on that Minnesota map, you can go to the layers and you can turn on snowplows, and we'll do that sometime in the future and show folks how to do that. But it's very cool because we have a lot of DOT workers out there that are getting the job done for us and getting our roads cleared out, and that's something that they do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and continue on. Brenda says, go Pedro, go Leo, Aurora is out. Oh, yeah, well, but so is the fog. Heidi, let me know, are you in Twin Valley, Heidi? Because thank you for your report, by the way. Just trying to remember, because Heidi is an excellent photographer when it comes to those colorful skies. I have a Heidi, I think, in Twin Valley and a Heidi in Bemidji. So if it's you, wherever you are, let me know. But yeah, taking pictures and uploading them from my weather app is another thing you can do right there, right in the field. You can upload little video clips and photos of weather and nature. And thank you. Bemidji, says Heidi. Thank you. Okay, well, we do have some of those clouds moving in, and there's that spit and sprinkle event that's going on off to the west. Let me go ahead and load that up here. Now I got to look. Okay, my eyes are wandering because I got to turn on. I kind of like this format where I can have a set series and then we can have Q&A afterwards. Big time cutoff low working its way. It is on schedule to head into the Central Plains states as we go into tomorrow. I'll turn your clock on here. Pardon my eyeballs once again. Thank you for letting me do that. Okay, now, so as we approach the 10 o'clock hour, there's our little burp of precipitous precipitation. Let's go in. We have another system working its way through the Rocky Mountains. So this first wave brings unsettled weather to the Central Plains, a little bit of snow up to the northern part near the Great Lakes. Then the second wave moves through, and that'll bring colder air with a little bit better chance of snow. But in our area, here's what we're looking at on the radar right now as we get ready for bed. This is showing snow making its way into Grand Forks. We just looked at a series of cameras along the Highway 11 and Highway 5 corridors up north. I didn't see snowflakes, but that's not showing up there. There is some heavier precipitation as you get out just off to the east of Minot there, not far from, say, Velva and Rugby, making its way up towards Belcourt, also pushing in towards Rolla right now, and Botno. That's some pretty heavy rain. We did see a Botno camera showing wetness on the camera lens, or maybe even some ice. So that's what's moving through the north, and because temperatures are going to be steady near where they are right now and falling into the morning, we could have some pretty slippery roads out there for your morning commute. So keep that in mind. And that reminds me, if you happen to wake up in the morning, you head over to Hutch's weather app, you hit the road conditions report brought to you by my friends at OK Tire Stores. And if you need those tires, set up for winter, well, it's not too late to have great tires to get you around. Check with my friends at any of the regional OK Tire Stores. A little bit of snow shower activity, maybe as far south as the Hillsboro area out here as we go in towards Halstead and on out towards Crookston as well. Jamestown, it looks like some sprinkles. Not all of this is reaching the ground, but some of it likely is indeed. So that's what's going on. All right, now we're going to take a look at this snow forecast on the deep dive map. And it's not just going to be, well, yeah, let's make it. There are some travelers going on out and about, and I know a lot of our local hockey teams have road trips as well. So I'm going to hit us with our regional map here, and I'm going to go to the European model because that's Hutch's go-to when it comes to our forecast that's out a couple of days. We don't have big time snow in the forecast in the next 24 to 48 hours, but as we go into the weekend, we could. So here's the European model showing that mix moving through tonight, and then we have high pressure briefly clearing things out briefly for late tomorrow, and then boom, here we go with our next snow chance really riding across the I-29 corridor. This model does not show that it's a big deal in our neck of the woods, but as we head into Friday night and Saturday, north winds blow in. That's the cold air. Here's the clearing that I was talking about for VFR chances out there. So if you want to know if you can fly your planes, that should be providing some less wind. Cold air sinks, and the layer of the atmosphere does sink a little bit. So this should be clearing out toward that high pressure center right there, moving over Crosby and Bowbells. Now, as we take a look here, we'll have north winds and passing light showers of snow, delivering that 1/10 to 5/10 of an inch of snow along this cold front boundary I showed you here across the Red River Valley and parts of western Minnesota as well. So that's what, oh, Brenda says it's raining in northwest Minot right now. Brenda, thank you for watching, and thank you for your live report on what's going on. Now, as we continue this forecast, as we go through the weekend, there's your Saturday event. There's the high pressure. Sunday, cold morning, and after that we get a return flow. To see this red line, that's a punch of warm air as we go into your Sunday midday. So if you're in Beach, if you're in Bowman, if you are in Grant County here, if you're in Regent, if you're in Flasher, if you are in New Salem at Sioux there, enjoying that warm up that's going to be happening for you on Sunday, we will warm up in the afternoon and evening hours here in the FM area as that system glides through the region. So there's your warm up starting Sunday. Then as we carry it through Sunday into Monday, there's our next chance of some snow working its way into the region. And I'll look at some mixed precipitation and just overall unsettled weather as we go through the next few days. Now, I will point out that some of the models have differences in how much snow we are expecting, but if I do take a look at that, let's see if that's still on here. I had a setup for this, so let's see if I can go ahead and show this. Okay, so this is going to be a look at the snowfall by Tuesday. This is all snowfall, I believe. Yep, total snowfall accumulation. So what you're going to see here is between now and Tuesday, not a huge chance. The first model I showed you here is the European. The best chance at accumulating snow, Arrowhead of Minnesota and into Wisconsin. For my cheese-loving friends out there and all of you Packer fans, good luck in the playoffs out there. Now, as we head into the Canadian model here, it's showing a little bit more robust Saturday snowfall from that system in the Red River Valley, but by robust, I mean close to an inch. So I'm not thinking too much. The Black Hills could see a little bit more substantial snowfall as we go into the close of the weekend and the start of the work weekend. Then this is a look at a American model. Says absolutely nothing happening here that's going to be significant for snowfall total. So it's a fun way to compare some different models at different times. But now I'm going to switch the timeline and we're going to look at total snow as we go toward the end of the model run, because starting the 13th through the 16th, things get a little bit more active. There's only two models I can show you, the European and the American model go out about this far. And what you see is a little bit more active pattern. It begins on the 13th. It's not all in one shot, and we get a few waves of snow diving out, Alberta Clipper style. Don't pay any attention to these snowfall amounts, but do pay attention to, well, we see the brighter colors. That's a better chance at seeing a little bit more heavy snow in the Arrowhead, maybe up towards International Falls, maybe in that Hubbard County area out towards Bemidji, seeing a little bit more snow. But this isn't a wallop. This isn't any one system that looks like a big producer yet. But that too can change. That is a look at your weather. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I appreciate you, pardon me, and I appreciate the ability to answer your questions. The one-on-one here is great. I do want to take 1 second here, or two, because it takes me a little more than 1 second. I should have known better. Okay, I am going to load up a look at the northern light potential and see if I can see it from anywhere. Heidi's saying they're visible from the Bemidji area, I believe. So I'm going to load up a view here. And this is from a cam, and it is live. So I'm opening this up. Ooh, it comes with pretty music too. All right, we'll let that roll. Now let me get to the right camera here, and we'll show you the view at home and what we're seeing there. I see some green in the sky, so there might be a chance at seeing a little bit of, oh yeah, that is the northern lights. This is from Argyle, Minnesota, from the Argyle Dragon. I do believe that there is a chance at seeing just a little bit of green there. Our surface lights can cause lights to dance up in the fog too, so I just want to be careful of that. But let's see if we can see them right now. There we go. Sorry about the delay there. I had to find the right monitor. There it is. There we go. Okay, so what you're looking at is a site called the Argyle Skies. I'm going to go ahead and spread out the view here just a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, so there's the Argyle Dragon in Argyle, Minnesota, and there is a green hue. Now there's some lights maybe, but I don't think this is pointed towards the city there. So if there's some fog and haze, though, any lights at all can kind of give us this little green hue in the sky. But there's a possibility that you're seeing a little bit of this right now out there. So if you happen to be in Minnesota before those clouds get real thick, you'll have a chance at seeing those northern lights. That is all I got for you. Thank you so very much to all of you folks out there who have uploaded photos on Hutch's Weather and hutchesweather.com. I got to tell you what, we got some beauties out there in the last 24 hours, and I'll share a couple with them with you as we go. Here's Twin Valley, Minnesota. Melissa capturing absolute gorgeousness. See the little spikes on the edge of this tree right here? That is some amazing frost forming on the tree from all of our fog we've had of late. And Melissa says, this is my kryptonite. Indeed, awesome display there. Now, as we go through, we got Grand Forks, North Dakota. There is something in the sky there. Now, I have not had confirmation from NORAD on this, if that is some sort of a unidentified flying object or something, but I haven't seen something like that in the sky for so long. And, you know, thank you, Elizabeth, for sharing that Columbia Square Apartments area out there in Grand Forks, seeing what appears to be a glowing disc in the sky over Grand Forks. And here we go, Bernadine, thank you, southeast of Holly. Look at the fields of snow there. Look at the frost on the road surface, and out over the hill, it looks like there's a body of water out there to enjoy as well in Holly. So beautiful conditions. Bernadine, thanks for your beautiful shot. Now look at Vergus. Are you kidding me? Stacy, are those deers or are those horses or llamas? I don't know. If you get too close and it spits on you, it's probably a llama. But if not, those animals are out there in the middle of the fog. You can see the frost building up on the trees out here. Absolutely stunning shots. You can see more of these, and you can upload them right on my website by clicking the upload button here, or directly from my brand spanking new app. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, getting ready to go get some dinner. I hope you've had a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed the sunshine. And a reminder, that 7-day forecast does show more light at the end of the tunnel, but we got a couple of cold days, falling temperatures tomorrow with cold north winds, not very strong, but we do have another chance of a weather wiggle Friday evening and into Saturday morning. A little light accumulation will be possible the way it looks now. A lot windier though, so slippery, as temperatures will be steady eddy around 18 in Fargo, and colder than that for our northern communities, in the single digits for some with those north winds. We fall down below zero in a few places on Sunday morning, Fargo at 7, and we're rocking 30s again. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday look warm, but look at Tuesday. I have highlighted for that warm mix, that next weather making system to make its way into the region, and then mighty cold. This may not be cold enough. That's a conservative 5-degree low I put right there at this time. Thank you so very much for all you're watching. Have a wonderful night, and check back with me in the morning. And I got to tell you what, I'm excited to tell you that I'm heading to Norway. Won't you come with? You can find more details on my app and on my website. Click on the Norway tab.
Hi, I'm Frode Tilden. I will be your native Norwegian tour director on the 11-day fantastic trip through Norway in August. Join Hutch and myself to explore the cities of Oslo, Flom, Bergen and Trondheim, and many more. Call Breaker Tours for more info. Looking forward to see you in the fjords country of Norway.
All right, thanks so much, Frode. And you can find out more details by heading to my website, clicking on the link, and you can give my friends over at Brecky Travel, Tours and Travel, a call today. Have a wonderful night.
This has been a Hutch's Weather Update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Wait, you forgot the new app. You're right, I did. Don't forget to download our new app. Oh, now let's rock. Thanks for watching Hutch's Weather.